Hey guys, it's Jackie from Homeschool Hangout by Nerd Family. Today, I am answering some of the most asked questions I get on the daily. I'm going to be talking about curriculum, testing, and grading as required by the state of California. If you like these California specific videos, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, ring the little notification bell, and join me over on our new Facebook group, Homeschool Hangout by Nerd Family. It's very specific, by Nerd Family. There are lots of homeschool hangouts. And let's get into it. So, one of the big questions I get is, what curriculum do I have to use? And how do I grade them? What is the grading system? Well, I'm going to kind of break that apart a little bit. And I've got notes. I'm like official and everything. You're really only required to educate your children in 6 main areas. You agree to that when you fill out your PSA or your PSP who files it for you. What are those? English, math, science, social studies, fine arts, health, and PE. Why don't I call those subjects? Well, because they're not. They're areas. And I believe the code actually says areas that you need to educate your children in. And when I say that, I mean, if you look at any public school curriculum, 1 year they're going to be learning geography. 1 year they're going to be learning about California history. 1 year they're going to be learning about, in first grade, hopefully, society and like who policemen are and firemen and all that stuff. That's social studies. Those subjects are so broad, it's just saying that you're going to cover them at some level. Which leads me to the next part. There's no time requirement on any of those. You don't have to do math for 30 minutes and science for 30 minutes and history for 30 minutes. You don't have to do anything like that. What that looks like and how you compile it is purely based on you and what you choose to do. For example, the most rigorous requirements are really in the high school area. And those requirements aren't so much rigorous as I want my kids to be able to get in college. So those are the requirements that I'm looking at. And even with that, my kid is doing government. She's also going to hit some science. She's also going to hit some other things. She doesn't have a requirement of how much time she has to do on it. So just throw that out. There's not any amount of time, not any amount of like which specific subjects I have to do, none of it. She's taking, and we tend to, because I am a binger, I binge watch TV, I binge read, I binge a lot of things. We tend to do a couple subjects at a time and just revolve them through the year. So like right now, my high schoolers are doing math, government, and Spanish. At least my senior's doing Spanish. I don't think my sophomore is. And I'm contemplating. And then my sophomore is doing lit while my senior's doing Spanish. Yeah, so we're doing that, and we're also bringing in some economics, and we're also bringing in some different things, but those are our intensive subjects. So there's no time requirements. There's no mandatory class names or mandatory specific subjects. How to grade. I've actually gotten this a lot in the last few weeks, and it kind of surprised me because it's just not something I saw a lot of before that. And it's, how am I supposed to grade my child? What kind of grading standard am I supposed to use? Do what you want. You're a private school in the state of California. Remember that. I know it's hard to think of ourselves this way, but you are an entity. How does the Catholic school down the street grade? I don't know. I don't care. The state doesn't care. Now, where that can come in is when you want to transfer your kid back to public school, which I never had a plan of doing. There might be some, they don't know the math that the 5th graders are learning right now, so they're going to be a step behind or a step ahead, which is probably more likely. That's the only thing that's really relative to. I frankly didn't issue grades at all until high school. And even those I don't test. My oldest child graduated from high school, and the first test he ever took was the ASVAB for the Army. And just so you know, I believe you need to get a 31 to get into the Army on your ASVAB, which for those of you who don't know, the ASVAB is the biggest, most detailed vocational test you can ever take. and it tests your propensities. It uses some of what you've learned and some of your bare intelligence, and it collates those things together to say which areas you'd be best at. The kid needed to get a 31, and I think he got a 96. That was his first actual real test. So for grading, I would kind of say, now I'm the mean mom. My kids would prefer to get grades, frankly, because if it's not done right, you're not done. So therefore, everybody gets A's in a lot of these things. Then when they went to college, my senior has taken 5 college classes. She did fine. They test. She gets whatever grade they give in the class. She's got A's. I'm not real worried about it. But if she gets a B, she gets a B. It's not the end of the world. So please don't think I'm saying it like that. But you don't have to test. You don't have to space your grades on a certain thing based on a certain amount of time or anything like that. There is no rubric that the state gives you. Now, I understand this is California. Other states have different rules. I'm not there. They're not my boss. So, grading. Then we're going to get into like state testing. I've been getting this a lot too, and I get this every year. So when my kids have to take the state tests every year, what do? Well, they don't. Most state tests that students take is a condition to acquire funding. That's why they're so important. We don't get funding, both good and bad, so I don't test, period. When you talk to homeschoolers and say, yeah, but my kids have to go take state tests, you need to ask the next question. Are you in a charter? And they, oh yeah, but we could opt out of it. But yeah, we're in a charter and they do testing. That's not legally homeschooling, private, independent homeschooling. That is doing public charter school at home, which is fine. It's a different game. So no state tests, no time requirements, no specific subjects as long as you cover the areas. Then the big test, the CHESP. It's California High School State Proficiency Exam, I think. I'm old enough that that didn't exist when I graduated from high school. That's not necessary. My children get high school diplomas from my school. That's it. That is a state requirement that you have to take in order to leave public high school. Now, if you want your kid to leave years early and you don't want to give them a diploma, things happen between parents and students. They can take the CHESP once they turn 16 and you can use that instead of a high school diploma, kind of. But I had a kid who, I will not lie, we kind of banged heads, and he graduated early and he fulfilled all my high school requirements, so I just gave him a diploma. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. You don't have to take the CHESP. Now, I hear people in the back going, what if my kids want to go to college? What if they want to apply for jobs? Whatever. I do transcripts in high school. I keep track of what classes they take and what grades I feel they have earned based on either homework, projects, whatever you base that on is a personal, that's between you and your pastor, I guess. No, it's between you and your student. I did a transcript, and I did a transcript because my son went to the military at 17 and he needed a transcript to go with his high school diploma. And that's another video. We can talk about how the Army handled all of that, which was fun and cool and not hard at all. And so I did a transcript there. I've never needed a transcript for a non-high schooler. My 2 children who are dual enrolled in college needed a transcript, a partial transcript. Basically, when I say partial, I mean they haven't graduated yet, in progress, for high school to get enrolled in college. And they will be able to use that to apply to 4-year universities, to apply for scholarships and everything else. There will be another video. It's on the list on how to do transcripts. It's super easy. And like most other things, you kind of just do what you want, but we'll talk about that later. But that's it. No one asks. Now, if they need an SAT, that's a different thing. That has nothing to do with where they're enrolled in school. Just a cheater secret. At least Fresno State has said, because the SAT system's been such a mess, they're not requiring it for college entrance. And when I say a mess, I don't mean like the SAT system's broken. I mean, they've been canceling a lot of dates because of COVID. And I have a senior. And so we've talked to the college she's planning on going to, both of them. So that's it. any other grading questions, any other state testing questions, curriculum requirements, let me know down in the bottom. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Come find me over on Homeschool Hangout by Nerd Family on Facebook. You do have to ask for membership, but that's just because how groups work on Facebook. If you just want to chat with me, Jackie, and my quirky self, you can follow me, Nerd Mom, over on Twitter and Nerd Mom's Life on Facebook. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye.